My beloved, pause for a moment and let these words settle over you. If you are seeing this right now, it is not by accident. There is a reason your path has led you here, to this very moment, to this very message. You may have felt the weight of waiting, the ache of unanswered prayers, the silent longing for a breakthrough that seems just out of reach. Perhaps you have watched the clock tick by, night after night, wondering when your season of delay will finally give way to release. You are not alone in this. So many have walked this road, feeling the sting of confusion, the uncertainty of not knowing when or how things will change. Yet, in the midst of that uncertainty, there is a whisper, a gentle nudge from the divine, inviting you to lean in closer. Tonight, at 11:11 p.m., something sacred is being prepared for you. This is not a random number, not a coincidence, but a signpost, a divine marker in time. For centuries, 11:11 has been recognized as a moment when heaven draws near, when the veil between the seen and unseen grows thin, and when angels are dispatched with messages of hope, protection, and restoration. Your angel, the one assigned to watch over you, is drawing close right now, urging you not to turn away, not to let this moment pass you by. There is a blessing with your name on it, a financial release that has been held in waiting, and tonight, the invitation is being extended for you to step into alignment with it. You may be asking, why now? Why tonight? The answer is woven into the fabric of your journey. Every delay you have faced, every moment of confusion, every tear shed in secret, none of it has been wasted. The pain of waiting has not gone unnoticed by heaven. In fact, it has prepared you for this very hour. Delay is not denial, it is the soil in which faith takes root. Confusion is not abandonment, it is the invitation to seek clarity, to reach for the hand of the one who knows the end from the beginning. Tonight, as the clock approaches 11:11, you are being called out of the shadows of delay and into the light of release. Imagine, for a moment, what it would feel like to move from scarcity to overflow, from fear to faith, from chasing after answers to carrying the assurance that you are seen, known, and provided for. This is the promise being whispered over you now. Your angel is not distant or indifferent, your angel is present, attentive, and actively working on your behalf. The struggle you have faced is not a sign of abandonment, but a sign of preparation. The confusion you have felt is not a punishment, but a prelude to clarity. The delay you have endured is not a closed door, but a divine pause, making room for something greater than you could have imagined. Tonight's invitation is urgent, but it is not harsh. It is gentle, yet it carries the weight of heaven's authority. You are being asked to stay present, to open your heart, and to receive what is being prepared for you. This is not about striving or proving yourself worthy, it is about aligning with the timing of heaven, about saying yes to the possibility that tonight could be the night everything shifts. What if, at 11:11 p.m., the very thing you have been praying for begins to unfold? What if the breakthrough you have been waiting for is closer than you think? Let yourself feel the hope rising, even if it's just a flicker. Let yourself imagine the possibility of release, even if you have grown weary in the waiting. Your story is not over. Your prayers have not been ignored. Your angel is closer than you realize, and the invitation is clear. Do not go anywhere without hearing this message. There is a reason you are here, a reason you are reading these words at this exact moment. Heaven is orchestrating a release, and you are being positioned to receive it. If you feel a stirring in your spirit, a sense that this message is for you, take a deep breath and whisper, "I am ready." Let that be your declaration tonight. Stay with me, dear one, because what comes next will help you understand why you have felt so alone, why the struggle has been so intense, and how you are about to move from isolation into the assurance that you are not forgotten. Your angel's message is just beginning to unfold. If you have ever felt invisible in your struggle, as if your prayers for financial relief echo into an empty sky, know this: you are not alone. The journey you are on, the waiting, the hoping, the quiet ache for breakthrough, is shared by countless souls across the world. It is easy, in moments of scarcity, to believe you are the only one left behind, the only one whose needs seem to go unnoticed. But beloved, the truth is far more tender and profound. You are seen. You are heard. You are part of a great company of those who have waited, wondered, and ultimately witnessed the faithfulness of God. Picture, for a moment, a woman in a distant city, sitting at her kitchen table late at night, bills spread before her, heart heavy with worry. She, too, has whispered prayers into the darkness, asking for a sign that help is on the way. Or imagine a father, quietly carrying the weight of providing for his family, feeling the sting of not having enough, yet still choosing hope over despair. These stories are not just theirs, they are ours. They are yours. The struggle with finances, the feeling of being overlooked or delayed, is a thread that weaves through the tapestry of humanity. It is a season, not a sentence. There is a powerful contrast at work in your life right now: isolation versus presence. The enemy of your soul would have you believe you are cut off, forgotten, left to fend for yourself. But the truth is, you are surrounded, by the prayers of others, by the presence of angels, by the watchful eye of a loving God who knows your every need. Even in moments when you feel most alone, you are being held. The silence is not abandonment, it is the quiet before the dawn, the pause before the breakthrough. Scarcity can feel suffocating, like a room with no windows, no way out. But even now, the seeds of overflow are being planted in your life. Every act of faith, every small step you take, is watering those seeds. You may not see the harvest yet, but it is growing beneath the surface. The stories of others who have waited and received, who have felt forgotten and then found, are reminders that your story is still unfolding. You are not the exception to God's goodness, you are the evidence of His care. Let this truth settle deep within you: you are beloved. You are watched over. You are not forgotten. Your needs are not too small for heaven's attention, nor too great for heaven's provision. The delays you have experienced are not a measure of your worth, but a part of your preparation. You are being shaped, strengthened, and positioned for the very blessing you seek. As you sit with these words, I invite you to take a gentle, practical step. Pause for a moment. Find a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Write down one area where you have felt stuck financially. Name it honestly, no shame, no judgment. This simple act is a declaration: I am seen, and my needs matter. It is the first step from isolation into presence, from scarcity into the promise of overflow. Stay with me, dear one, because the unseen conflict behind your waiting is about to be revealed. There is more to your story than what you see, and understanding it will bring you closer to the release you've been longing for. There is a reason your journey has felt so heavy, beloved. Beneath the surface of your daily life, beyond the numbers in your bank account or the bills on your table, there is an unseen conflict at work. This is not a battle of flesh and blood, but of spirit and soul, a quiet wrestling that shapes the flow of blessing and the timing of breakthrough. If you have ever wondered why your prayers seem to linger in the air, why doors remain closed despite your faithfulness, you are not alone in that question. The answer is layered, and it is not a reflection of your worth or your effort, but of deeper patterns and forces that often go unnoticed. Many of us carry wounds from the past, moments of betrayal, disappointment, or rejection that have left their mark on our hearts. Perhaps you trusted someone with your resources, your dreams, or your hope, only to be let down. Maybe you have experienced the sting of promises broken, or the ache of being overlooked when you needed help the most. These experiences can quietly shape the way we see ourselves and the world. They can plant seeds of self-doubt, whispering that we are not worthy of abundance, that we must settle for less, or that we are destined to struggle. These are not truths, but patterns that can create invisible barriers to the flow of blessing in our lives. This is the contrast of betrayal versus protection. Where betrayal wounds, protection heals. Where betrayal isolates, protection gathers. The enemy would have you believe that you are alone, that you must guard yourself, that you cannot trust anyone, not even God, to provide for you. But your angel, assigned by heaven, stands as a shield around you, working tirelessly to protect what is yours and to guide you toward restoration. Even when you cannot see it, angelic protection is at work, intercepting harm, redirecting loss, and preparing the way for your release. Fear is another silent architect of delay. It can masquerade as wisdom, convincing you to hold back, to say yes when you mean no, to shrink your dreams to fit your circumstances. Fear tells you that if you do not grasp for every opportunity, you will be left behind. It urges you to chase after solutions, to exhaust yourself trying to control outcomes that are not yours to manage. But faith, dear one, is the antidote. Faith invites you to rest, to trust, to believe that what is meant for you cannot be stolen or missed. Faith is not passive, it is active surrender. It is the courage to say, I will not let fear dictate my choices. I will trust in the protection and provision of the one who sees me. Sometimes, the delay you experience is not a punishment, but a form of divine protection. There are blessings that require preparation, doors that must open at the right time, and opportunities that would not serve you if they arrive too soon. Your angel is not withholding from you, but shielding you from what would harm you or distract you from your true path. The unseen conflict is not just about what is being kept from you, but about what is being kept for you. Every delay is a holding pattern, a sacred pause, orchestrated for your good. It is important to recognize the patterns that may be operating in your life. Have you noticed yourself saying yes out of fear, fear of missing out, fear of disappointing others, fear of not having enough? Have you agreed to things that drain your resources or your spirit, simply because you were afraid to say no? These are the subtle ways that fear can keep you in cycles of lack and delay. But you have the power to break these patterns. You have the authority, given by God and reinforced by your angel, to set boundaries that honor your worth and protect your peace. Here is a gentle, practical step for you today. Take a moment to reflect on where you have said yes out of fear. Write down one thing you will say no to this week, one commitment, one expense, one expectation that does not serve your highest good. This is not selfishness, it is stewardship. It is a declaration that you will no longer allow fear to govern your decisions. As you do this, you create space for faith to rise, for protection to surround you, and for blessings to flow more freely into your life. Remember, the unseen conflict is not a sign that you are failing. It is evidence that you are valuable, that your destiny is worth fighting for, and that heaven is invested in your journey. The patterns of betrayal, disappointment, and self-doubt are being replaced by new patterns of protection, faith, and hope. Your angel is standing guard, and the delays you have faced are being transformed into divine appointments. Stay with me, because the signs and confirmations of this shift are already beginning to appear. The next moments will reveal how heaven speaks, how your angel communicates, and how you can recognize the markers of your coming release. The unseen is about to become seen, and your story is moving from delay into the promise of clarity and breakthrough. Have you ever felt a sudden nudge, a gentle whisper in your spirit, or noticed a pattern that seemed too precise to be mere coincidence? These are the subtle ways heaven reaches out to you, beloved. Divine confirmation is rarely loud or forceful. It is often quiet, woven into the fabric of your everyday life. Sometimes, it comes as a number, like 1111, appearing on clocks, receipts, or messages, catching your attention just when you need reassurance. Other times, it arrives in dreams that linger in your memory, names that repeat throughout your day, or a wave of peace that settles over you in the midst of chaos. These are not random, they are the language of angels, the gentle signals that you are not alone and that your prayers are being heard. There is a beautiful contrast at play here, chasing versus carrying. Many spend their days chasing after signs, desperate for proof that they are favored, that breakthrough is near. They search the sky for writing, the world for confirmation, hoping to find evidence that God and His angels are near. But what if, instead of chasing, you realized you already carry favor? What if the signs are not something you must hunt for, but something that naturally appears because you are already aligned with heaven's attention? When you shift from chasing to carrying, you move from anxiety to assurance, from striving to resting in the truth that you are seen and guided. Think back over the past 24 hours. Have you noticed anything unusual, a repeated number, a song that played at just the right moment, a conversation that seemed divinely timed? Perhaps you woke from a dream that felt significant, or you felt a sudden calm in the middle of your worries. These are the gentle fingerprints of the divine, reminders that your angel is near and that you are being guided, even when you cannot see the full path ahead. Sometimes, the confirmation is as simple as a sense of peace that cannot be explained, a knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. I invite you to pause and reflect. Take a moment to journal any signs or confirmations you've noticed in the past day. Write them down, no matter how small or ordinary they may seem. This act of noticing is itself a declaration: I am open to the ways heaven speaks to me. As you become more aware, you will find that the signs multiply, not because you are chasing them, but because you are carrying the awareness that you are loved and watched over. If you have seen 1111 or another sign that felt meaningful, I encourage you to share it. Comment below and let others know how heaven has spoken to you. Your story may be the confirmation someone else needs today. In this community, we celebrate every sign, every whisper, every gentle nudge from above. Stay with me, dear one, because understanding how angels speak is only the beginning. Next, we will explore the spiritual framework that empowers your angel to protect and guide you, and how divine justice is already at work on your behalf. The journey from confusion to clarity continues, and you are right where you need to be. There is a realm that surrounds you, beloved, more real than the air you breathe, yet often hidden from your natural eyes. In this realm, angels move at the command of God, carrying messages, waging battles, and standing guard over those who are called and cherished. Among these heavenly messengers, Archangel Michael stands as a mighty protector, a champion of divine justice, and a defender against all that would threaten your peace and provision. When you feel vulnerable, when betrayal or loss has left you exposed, it is Michael and the angelic host who step forward, unseen but never absent, to shield you from harm and to restore what has been lost. The contrast between the seen and the unseen is at the heart of your journey. You may see bills, debts, or empty accounts, but what you do not see is the army of angels encamped around you, the prayers rising on your behalf, and the strategies of heaven unfolding in your favor. You may feel the sting of betrayal, by people, by circumstances, even by your own expectations, but protection is being woven around you in ways you cannot always perceive. Where betrayal seeks to isolate and wound, protection gathers and heals. The unseen realm is not a distant fantasy, it is the very source of your security and hope. Archangel Michael is not a passive observer. He is a warrior, commissioned by God to enforce divine justice and to break the power of darkness over your life. In Scripture, Michael is described as the one who contends for God's people, who stands in the gap when the battle is fiercest. He is the angel who fights for the release of blessings that have been delayed, who confronts the forces that would keep you bound in cycles of lack or fear. When you pray for protection, when you ask for justice, it is Michael and his angels who respond, moving swiftly and powerfully on your behalf. God's justice is not only spiritual, it is practical. It is not limited to the unseen realm but manifests in real, tangible ways, in restored relationships, unexpected provision, and doors opening where there were only walls. Divine justice means that what was stolen is returned, what was broken is mended, and what was delayed is released in perfect timing. It is the assurance that you are not at the mercy of chance or the whims of others, but held securely in the hands of a just and loving God. When you invite the authority of your angel into your financial life, you are aligning yourself with this justice, declaring that you will not settle for less than what heaven intends for you. You may wonder, how do I invite this protection? How do I partner with the authority of my angel? The answer is both spiritual and practical. Spiritually, you can pray, simply and sincerely, asking God to assign Archangel Michael and his host to guard your finances, your home, your opportunities. You can declare, I am under the protection of heaven. No weapon formed against me will prosper. What is mine cannot be stolen or lost. These words are not empty, they are invitations for the unseen to become seen, for the authority of your angel to be activated in your life. Practically, you can take steps that honor the protection being offered to you. One way is to review your spending with intention, asking for wisdom and discernment. Another is to pray over your bank account, your wallet, your financial plans, dedicating them to God and inviting angelic oversight. You might write down a specific area where you feel vulnerable, an upcoming expense, a debt, a decision, and ask for Michael's guidance and intervention. This is not superstition, it is stewardship. It is recognizing that you are not alone in your efforts, but supported by a power greater than yourself. Take a moment now to list one way you can invite protection over your finances. Perhaps it is setting a new boundary, seeking wise counsel, or simply pausing to pray before making a decision. Write it down as a declaration of your partnership with heaven. Let this be your act of faith, your way of saying, I trust that I am not unprotected. I trust that justice is working for me, even when I cannot see it. As you embrace the authority of your angel, remember that every act of faith, every prayer, every practical step is a seed sown into the soil of divine justice. The unseen is becoming seen. The protection you have longed for is already at work. Stay with me, because the path from delay to release is unfolding, and the next steps will show you how to move from waiting to receiving, from uncertainty to the assurance that your breakthrough is on its way. There is a sacred journey that every soul must walk when moving from a season of delay into a season of release. If you are reading these words, it means you are standing at the threshold of that journey. The ache of waiting, the frustration of seeing others move forward while you remain in place, the quiet questions that echo in your heart, these are not signs of failure, but invitations to transformation. The path from financial delay to release is not a single leap, but a series of intentional steps, each one blending the spiritual with the practical, each one moving you from scarcity into overflow. Begin by acknowledging where you are. Delay is not a curse, but a classroom. It is the place where your faith is refined, your vision is clarified, and your character is strengthened. Scarcity, though painful, is often the soil in which gratitude and wisdom take root. If you have felt stuck, overlooked, or left behind, know that you are not being punished. You are being prepared. The first step on the reversal path is to shift your perspective, see the delay not as a dead end, but as a divine pause, a moment when heaven is working behind the scenes to align circumstances for your good. The next step is to invite God and your angelic protectors into the process. Speak aloud, I welcome divine guidance and protection over my finances. I trust that what is meant for me will find me in perfect timing. This declaration is not just words, it is a spiritual alignment, a way of opening your heart to the flow of blessing that is already moving toward you. When you speak faith, you break the power of fear. When you invite protection, you close the door to cycles of loss and disappointment. Now, let's move from the spiritual to the practical. Breakthrough is not only a matter of prayer, but of participation. Each day, you are given opportunities, small choices that, over time, create a new reality. This is where the contrast between delay and release becomes most visible. Delay says, wait and do nothing. Release says, act in faith, even if the steps are small. Scarcity says, there is not enough, so hold back. Overflow says, there is always enough to take one wise step forward. Here is a 7-day practice to help you move from delay to release, from scarcity to overflow. Day 1. Begin your morning by declaring, "Abundance is my portion. I am open to receive." Then, take one small, wise action with your money. This could be as simple as setting aside a few coins in savings, reviewing your budget, or blessing someone else with a small gift. The action is less important than the intention. Each step is a seed of release. Day 2. Reflect on any fears or anxieties you have about money. Write them down, and then speak this truth over them: "Fear does not have the final word in my finances. I choose faith." Take a practical step to address one fear, perhaps by seeking advice, making a plan, or letting go of an unnecessary expense. Day 3. Look for opportunities to give, even if it is only a little. Giving breaks the grip of scarcity and opens the door to overflow. It could be a donation, a meal shared, or a word of encouragement to someone in need. As you give, declare, "I am a channel of blessing. What I release returns to me multiplied." Day 4. Review your financial goals. Are they clear? Are they aligned with your values? Write down one goal for the next month, and one for the next year. Pray over these goals, asking for wisdom and angelic guidance. Then, take one step, however small, toward your goal. Day 5. Practice gratitude. List 3 things you are grateful for in your financial life, even if they seem insignificant. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, from delay to the beginnings of release. Speak your gratitude aloud, inviting the energy of overflow into your day. Day 6. Set a boundary. Say no to one thing that drains your resources or does not serve your highest good. This could be an unnecessary purchase, a recurring expense, or even a request from someone else. As you set this boundary, declare, "I honor my worth and protect my overflow." Day 7. Celebrate progress. Look back over the week and notice any shifts, no matter how small. Did you feel more peace? Did you make a wise choice? Did you sense a new openness in your spirit? Write down your wins and thank God and your angels for their guidance. Declare, "I am moving from delay to release, from scarcity to overflow." Remember, beloved, breakthrough is a process, not just a moment. Each step you take is a declaration that you are ready for release. Each act of faith, each practical decision, is a key that unlocks the next door. The journey may not always be easy, but you are not walking it alone. Your angel is with you, guiding, protecting, and celebrating every victory, no matter how small. As you continue on this path, keep your heart open to the signs of progress. Sometimes, the first evidence of release is not a sudden windfall, but a shift in your mindset, a new sense of peace, or an unexpected opportunity. Trust that the seeds you are planting will bear fruit in due season. Delay is giving way to release. Scarcity is being replaced by overflow. You are moving, step by step, into the abundance that has always been your inheritance. Stay with me, because the next part of your journey will invite you to activate these promises through rituals and declarations, anchoring your faith and participation in the reality of heaven's provision. The reversal is already underway, and your story is unfolding in ways more beautiful than you can imagine. There is a sacred power in the words you speak and the rituals you embrace, beloved. When you declare truth over your life, you are not just speaking into the air, you are aligning your spirit with heaven's intention, inviting the presence of angels and the intervention of God into your circumstances. In moments when fear tries to take hold, when isolation whispers that you are alone, rituals and declarations become your bridge from fear to faith, from isolation to the tangible presence of the divine. Right now, I invite you to pause and create a space for this moment. If you are able, light a candle as a symbol of hope and new beginnings. If you cannot, simply place your hand over your heart and take a deep, steadying breath. Feel the warmth of your own touch, the steady beat of your heart, and know that you are not alone. As you prepare to speak these words, imagine your angels standing beside you, radiant and strong, ready to carry your prayers before the throne of God. Let us begin with a prayer for financial restoration. I invite you to repeat these words aloud, or quietly in your spirit, as a declaration of faith. God of abundance, I thank you for your unfailing love and provision. I release every fear, every worry, and every sense of lack into your hands. I invite your angels, especially Archangel Michael, to surround me with protection and to break every chain of delay over my finances. I declare that what has been withheld is being released, that what has been lost is being restored, and that I am stepping into a season of overflow. I trust that you are working all things together for my good, and I receive your blessing with gratitude and faith. Amen. If you receive this prayer, type Amen in the comments as a sign of agreement and unity. Your words matter. Your faith is powerful. When you declare truth, you are not only shifting your own atmosphere, but joining with others around the world who are believing for the same breakthrough. This is the contrast: fear isolates, but faith gathers. Isolation says, you are on your own. Faith says, you are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, by angels, and by the love of God. Now, let us speak a declaration for angelic intervention. Place your hand over your heart once more, and let these words become your own. I am not alone. I am watched over, protected, and guided by the angels of God. I invite Archangel Michael to stand guard over my finances, my opportunities, and my dreams. I declare that every force of lack, every spirit of fear, and every pattern of delay is broken in Jesus' name. I am moving from isolation into presence, from fear into faith, from scarcity into overflow. I receive divine strategies, unexpected provision, and the wisdom to steward every blessing. My life is a testimony of God's faithfulness, and I walk in the assurance that I am never abandoned. Amen. If these words resonate with you, let your agreement be known. Type Amen or share your own declaration in the comments. As you do, you are participating in a ritual of faith, a moment where heaven and earth meet in the power of your spoken word. Rituals do not have to be elaborate to be effective. Sometimes, the most powerful moments are the simplest ones: a whispered prayer before you check your bank account, a candle lit in hope, a hand placed over your heart as you remember that you are loved and protected. These small acts are reminders that you are not powerless, that you are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are a participant in your own breakthrough, a co-creator with God and His angels. As you continue to walk this path, make it a habit to pause each day for a moment of declaration. Speak life over your finances, your family, your future. Invite the presence of angels into your home, your work, your decisions. Let your rituals be a source of comfort and strength, a way to anchor your faith in the reality of God's provision. Remember, beloved, you are moving from fear to faith, from isolation to presence. Every declaration you make, every ritual you embrace, is a step closer to the release and restoration you have been praying for. Stay with me, because the next part of your journey will reveal the timelines and checkpoints that mark your progress, helping you recognize the shifts and breakthroughs as they unfold. The blessing is already being activated, and your story is still being written. Beloved, as you walk this path from delay to release, it is natural to wonder when you will see the evidence of change. Heaven's timing is often mysterious, but it is never random. There are moments when the spiritual and practical align, and you begin to notice shifts, sometimes subtle, sometimes unmistakable. These shifts are not always about sudden windfalls or dramatic events. Often, they are the gentle signs that the atmosphere around you is changing, that clarity is replacing confusion, and that release is beginning to break through the walls of delay. Let's look together at the checkpoints that may mark your journey in the coming days. These time windows are not deadlines or ultimatums, but invitations to notice, to reflect, and to celebrate every step forward. They are encouragements, not pressures, reminders that breakthrough is a process, unfolding in layers, and that your awareness is a vital part of receiving what heaven is releasing. In the next 24 hours, you may sense a shift in your emotions or your spirit. Perhaps a weight you have carried begins to feel lighter, or a sense of hope stirs where there was only heaviness before. You might receive a word of encouragement from someone unexpectedly, or notice a small sign, like seeing 11:11 or hearing a song that speaks to your heart. These are not coincidences. They are gentle confirmations that you are moving from confusion into clarity, from waiting into the first glimmers of release. Within 3 days, pay attention to your thoughts and dreams. You may find that ideas come more easily, or that solutions to old problems begin to surface. Spiritually, you might feel a renewed sense of connection to God, a deeper peace in your prayers, or a sudden insight that brings understanding to a situation that once felt tangled. Practically, you could notice a small financial blessing, a discount, a refund, or an unexpected opportunity. These are signs that the atmosphere is shifting, that the seeds you have planted in faith are beginning to sprout. By 7 days, look for patterns of clarity and movement. Perhaps a conversation opens a new door, or you find the courage to make a decision you have been postponing. You may feel more confident in setting boundaries, or more willing to take a step of faith with your finances. The contrast between delay and release becomes more visible as you see progress, even if it is incremental. Remember, beloved, that every small change is a victory. Each one is a sign that you are moving forward, that the confusion of the past is giving way to the clarity of your new season. At 14 days, take time to reflect on the journey. What has shifted in your heart, your mind, your circumstances? You may notice that your prayers have changed, that your expectations have grown, or that you are more open to receiving help and guidance. Perhaps you have experienced a breakthrough, or perhaps you are simply more at peace with the process. Both are signs of release. The journey from delay to overflow is not always measured in numbers, but in the transformation of your spirit and the alignment of your life with heaven's timing. To help you mark these shifts, I invite you to keep a journal. Each day, record any changes you notice, no matter how small. Write down moments of encouragement, signs of progress, or feelings of peace. After 7 days, revisit your notes and celebrate the movement you see. This practice is not just about tracking results, it is about honoring the process, recognizing the hand of God and your angels in every detail, and building your faith for what is still to come. Beloved, you are moving from confusion to clarity, from delay to release. The time windows ahead are checkpoints, not finish lines. Stay present, stay expectant, and remember that every step forward is a testimony to the faithfulness of God. As you continue, we will explore how to discern wisely, set healthy boundaries, and respond to objections or doubts with confidence and peace. Your journey is unfolding, and you are right where you need to be. Dear one, as you walk this path of faith and expectation, it is natural for questions and doubts to arise. You may find yourself wondering, what if nothing happens? What if I am disappointed again? These are honest fears, and you are not alone in feeling them. The journey from delay to release is not always smooth, and the world is full of voices, some encouraging, some misleading. This is where discernment becomes your shield, and boundaries become your strength. Fear often tries to masquerade as wisdom, whispering that it is safer not to hope, not to trust, not to open your heart to the possibility of change. But faith invites you to carry assurance, not chase after every promise or sign. The difference is subtle but powerful. Chasing leaves you exhausted and vulnerable to disappointment, while carrying means you walk with quiet confidence, knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by. You do not need to strive or grasp. You are already favored, already watched over. In a world where many claim to speak for God, discernment is essential. Not every voice that promises blessing is trustworthy. If someone pressures you for money in God's name, or insists that your breakthrough depends on a payment or a secret formula, pause. Take a breath. Pray for wisdom. Your agency and your wisdom are precious gifts, honor them. Here is a simple boundary you can use. Thank you for your message. I will pray about this and seek God's guidance before making any decision. This gives you space to listen to your spirit, to consult with trusted friends or mentors, and to avoid being swept up in urgency or manipulation. Remember, beloved, God's blessings are not for sale. Your angel's protection is not conditional on a transaction. True prophetic guidance will always honor your dignity, your freedom, and your ability to choose. If a message brings fear, confusion, or pressure, it is wise to step back and seek clarity. Faith is not about blind trust, it is about anchored trust, rooted in the character of God, the witness of your spirit, and the fruit of peace. You are not powerless in this process. You have the right to ask questions, to wait for confirmation, and to move at the pace of peace. If doubts arise, bring them honestly before God. If you feel uncertain, seek counsel from those who have walked this road before you. Your journey is unique, and your discernment is a vital part of your breakthrough. As you continue, let faith be your compass and wisdom your guardrail. You are moving from fear to faith, from chasing after answers to carrying the assurance that you are guided and protected. Your boundaries are not barriers, they are invitations for heaven's best to find you in safety and peace. Stay with me, because the final part of this journey will bring everything together, a vision of restoration, a gentle call to share your hope, and a reminder that your story is a beacon for others still waiting for their release.